succulent candle. Soy candle. Okay, we have Haley in the studio. I heard about Haley at work, actually. So I'm going to shout out to my coordinator, Kim Morrow, if you're listening. We were talking about the podcast at work, and she said, hey, have you had Haley on? And I was like, who's this? She says, Oak and Willow. I was like, what? Anyways, pulls up her Instagram. Amazing. Right away. I was like, hey, we definitely need to talk to this powerful lady. You might think that this episode, you're going to be listening. We're going to be talking about dry shampoo and toilet bowl cleaner and dry, and soap. But we're not. We do a little bit, but this is a much deeper conversation. This is a really cool conversation about how Haley's generation is really the first generation that was faced in high school with kind of like, the environment is a bigger issue. It's not just about like recycling 2 or 3 types of plastic and the world will be fine and everything will be great. It's actually a way bigger problem, and we need to really look at sustainability. So her business model is incredible. I love how she treats her employees. Like it's an awesome conversation. Stick around. Before we get into it, though, we have to thank one of our major sponsors, Source for Sports. I drove by them the other day, and maybe I haven't noticed this, but like they're very chic because now they're all like black. They've done like a nice painting job. Anyway, if you need anything for your sports, any type of sports, they got you covered over there. Go see Paul. Go see the guys. Source for Sports. Thank you so much for your continued support. All right, let's get into it. Let's get Haley in the studio and start talking about these amazing products with Oak and Willow. I'm Lisa Bueve, and this is To North Bay with Love.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way.
Okay, Haley, we're talking about space before we pressed record. We're talking about space.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, how big is like 6,000 square feet? Like,
6,000 square feet is a lot of square feet. Like I was saying, so where the Legion used to be on First Ave West, in there we have just shy of 5,000 square feet.
But you have the whole building?
No, just a part of it. The VON is in there, and and EPSU is upstairs.
Okay.
Previously, we had just about 10,000 square feet in the Voyager building.
Sweet.
And then we moved to this one because it just had more usable space for us, but it was a big downgrade on size. So we have an off-site storage that's about 1,500 square feet.
Oh, wow.
But we're really hoping to buy because now, we're entering year 6. We're debt-free. We're where we need to be. And so we're looking to invest in commercial real estate. And the hunt in North Bay has been a little bit tough.
Because you were talking about like certain zoning that you need and then loading docks and things like this.
Yeah. We need a loading bay. We need truck turnaround. It needs to be standalone. We need industrial zoning. So we need to hit a lot of different.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
And like, are there areas in North Bay that are more conducive to that?
Kind of. So on that like main west area that's by the Humane Society, there's a couple good industrial buildings in there. But they either don't hit our needs as far as square footage goes, or they're connected to other buildings. And because we're manufacturing, we need our own standalone building. Like if you walk by our current building on First Ave West, you will smell us from multiple buildings away.
Oh,
when we're manufacturing all of these products in our space, it's smelly. A good smell. Delicious.
But I can see why, you like a residential area might not want that.
Yeah.
They're trying to have a barbecue and they're smelling the soap and what I mean? Like it's kind of, It's like our lovely twigs, which is fabulous. But like every once in a while you can, it's wafting when they're roasting the beans, right? You're like, oh.
Yeah, we are big wafters as far as buildings go. Yeah. Good smells, but.
I mean, okay, this is crazy that like The fact that you're talking about an industrial space that's like, you're looking, 6,000 to 8,000 square feet, like, and it's year 6.
Yeah.
And this all came from you making little toilet cleaner pods.
Yeah.
And you just took a chance. You threw it up there.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it wasn't even taking a chance. The the business started completely on accident.
Yeah.
So I was at home. I was, 7 months pregnant with my son, and I have 3 cats, one of whom can get into the toilet even with the lid closed.
Sure, you can. Sure. Yeah.
And so I was, wanting to be a good pet parent. I start making these little toilet pods. So they clean the toilet and they reduce rings and gunk buildup. They create like a film in your toilet that makes it difficult for hard water and gunk to cling to.
Okay.
And the benefit of it is it's made with those food grade ingredients if you have nosy pets like mine. So I'm making them for me. Then my mom has dogs. She wants them. And then my mom's friends. And then one day I just made a batch that was a little bit too big. I had like maybe 3 or 4 jars. I put them on the North Bay buy and sell on Facebook. And within hours, I had 200 orders. That week, I had 2 stores contacting me to get them in. And I was just a crazy person saying, yep, you can pick up tomorrow. We had not made the pods. I was up all night with my son's dad, and we were just going. And I commissioned an artist that week to name the business, get a logo going. We got into the workshop that used to be down on Lakeshore. That was our first store we were in. And
it
just
I know
kind
that
of
building. Yeah, by the metro. Okay, yeah,
right by the metro. And so we just kind of kept expanding from there. We then did the North Bay Farmers Market that following summer. We did the odd trade show, and then it got super crazy because at the beginning of 2022, we went viral on TikTok for the first time. And
okay, that's huge. Yeah.
That scale was just unimaginable, both to everyone I was speaking to and myself. So for context, probably year to date at that point, we had done maybe about $50,000. When we went viral, we did $87,000 in 6 hours. So
stop.
It was every small business owner's dream. It was also just a logistics nightmare. You had no idea, the vitality of it. You had no idea what was going to come next. Yeah. So we went viral, I believe it was March 12th of that year. I signed a lease March 15th, hired staff, and it was a nightmare. It was everyone's dream, and it was a nightmare. I apologize to anyone who knew me or the business during that year. But from there, we kind of got used to that online presence, and we really found ourselves in the last couple of years. And now that we're, entering year 6, we're finally at the point where I don't need to work every second I'm awake, and we don't all need to be stressed all the time. Like it's just, it's turned into such a great space to be in.
I can imagine the mix of emotion.
Huge.
When you go viral on TikTok, you must have been like in the clouds and then instantly in hell, being like, how do I? Yeah. Because it must be like, as an owner of this business, and you want to get these orders going, but like then you must have thought, oh my God, if I can't get these orders to these people in a timely manner, they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to say they're going to get bad reviews. And it just snowballs, right? Like
it snowballed so bad that those orders took some of them over 6 months to get to the consumer.
Wow, okay.
Because you also have to keep in mind, I hadn't even turned 22 yet. I was very young when this took off.
That's crazy.
Very young, very naive. And then because I was very young and naive, and I felt like people thought that of me, I was very resistant to ask for help.
Right.
Which what 21-year-old isn't.
Yeah.
But most 21-year-olds don't have that sort of weight on them to get this moving, get this rolling, and figure out how to do it. So that first year post blow up. So our second year in business was just sort of challenge after challenge after challenge.
And who did you go to? Like when you say you finally got that help, like
I did not ask for help.
You did
everything that I know now.
Yeah.
I mean, now I have my own like entrepreneurial community, but everything I know now is because I made every single mistake that you could in those first couple years because I was so resistant to ask for help, And whenever I speak to other business owners in these little, entrepreneurial pockets, it's always ask for help.
Yeah.
They know because they've messed it up before. That's how I feel I'm an expert in this field, in this logistics field, and all of it because I've made every mistake in the book.
Yeah. Man, you need to go to all the high schools or just go everywhere and talk to people about that. Do you?
I do.
Oh my God,
I teach in secondary and post-secondary schools.
Okay. Oh, so you're a full-time teacher and you have this
No.
Okay.
I go in for, sorry, I should have been more clear. So I go into the secondary schools, like I've gone into here in North Bay, like Chippewa, the Laurentian and stuff like that. So I'll go in and do just speaking engagements and we'll talk about that sort of thing. I'll go to the post-secondary schools. Like I have one coming up with Brock University and the entrepreneurship community. I'll do business conferences. And so my main talking points are ethical entrepreneurship, because something about my company is that we run on a pretty unique model.
Yeah.
So we run on a leftist model inspired by communist conflict theory. So we bring all these pillars of collectivism in. So me and all my staff make the same wage. We have equalized profit share. We have unlimited paid time off with a 3-week minimum. We have collective decision making. Everyone makes their own schedule. So it's this really collective environment and it goes against the grain. And so that's really what's brought me into the teaching side of things, because people will see that online and be like, holy moly, what's going on here? And so I do that. I talk about sustainability in this sort of capitalist market. So I have an opportunity soon where I'm going to Attawapiskat to talk about the environmental science side of everything. Yeah.
So why? Okay, so the environmental part of it, because all of your products are really eco-friendly.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, it would be important because if you're creating this thing for a toilet, I mean, that's water going directly into our water. So, was it because of your cat, or was that something that you always really you were always kind of environment first?
I think for me, and I think for a lot of folks my age, is we watched in school the progression of like, recycle and we'll make the world a better place, to, we enter high school and it's like, oh no, the entire world is burning, and we have this sort of environmental anxiety just sort of built in, or anyways I do, and I know that there's a lot of community in that. And so for me, and as we started beginning in this field, was understanding my main competitors. My main competitors are billion-dollar conglomerates like Procter & Gamble, who owns Crest, who owns Tide, who owns Dawn, who owns all everything in that sector. And understanding that these corporations are built on the back of exploitation. They're built on the back of, petroleum-based products and plastic packaging. And moreover, one of the big parts of it for me was understanding that all of these consumable products that we have to use every day, the dish soap, the shampoo, they're made in a way that they have a short planned obsolescence, which means they are heavily diluted. So like, for example, the dish soap that you're buying at the store, the dish soap you're buying is anywhere from 70 to 90% just water. Whereas we offer concentrated products. So we offer solid alternatives so that you get a long time. For example, our shampoo bar, I've got a lot of hair. My hair goes down. I have pretty thick hair. I get somewhere between 10 to 13 months out of my shampoo bar, whereas before I was going through liquid shampoo over and over and over again. So part of it was also the accessibility of just this brings your cost per use lower than that at even the dollar store, because you're buying the concentrated product. You have water at home.
Yeah. Is that because that's interesting, because when I was creeping you online, that's something I literally wrote down here. I put down business model. Yeah. Because I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. Global change, the fact that you wanted to bring around global change. And so I guess, it's interesting because, I mean, I'm, in my late 40s and you are not. You're from a different generation. And that was so interesting what you just said about once you got to high school, it was kind of like, this is for real.
We felt the flip.
Yeah, like David Attenborough is like telling you guys, like, this is for real. Like, we have to fix this, Yeah,
I think I was really in that age where I was in school during the kind of the early 2000s, when we're talking about maybe if we drive less or if we do this could fix everything. Yeah.
It was like, no, this is a bigger problem.
This is a big issue, and it's a big issue that systemically connects to every pillar in our society. Like it's how we treat people, it's how we politicize, it's how we engage everywhere that impacts sustainability.
Yeah. And do you hear that from a lot of your peers, like in your generation? Like, is that kind of
I think so. I think the environmental anxiety began in my generation. Yeah. Because that's really when we felt the flip. Like, you take my grandma's when the business started, my grandma's like, well, just sell it in Ziploc bags, right?
Right. She's like, what?
They're not in that generation where they really have to worry about it in the same capacity. And I don't know how to word this. They had very little knowledge of what was to come. And then, my mom's generation would get more of the, if we do this, it'll be better. Mm-hmm. And then I think that like environmental dread and anxiety really came in the 2010s, I'd say, is when we started to.
And I wonder too, like, I mean, you mentioned your son, like because I'm an 80s kid. Yeah. And let me tell you, my life was hairspray. You know what I mean? I mean, the closer your bangs were to the lowered, you got to get them up. 100%. So like that was never top of mind growing up. No. It was not that I think in the 80s, I think there was probably less. Like I think people used a lot of Tupperware. I think we reused stuff. So I don't remember a lot of Ziploc bags and stuff.
It was starting in there, yeah.
And I would say I probably didn't. I'm going to say, maybe in high school there might have been like a recycle program, but like it was like now we can recycle one type of plastic. Like that was it.
And now we're really talking about it on a larger scale and understanding all of these systems that are put in place that, especially in the field that I'm in, you hear the term greenwashing a lot, where things are presented as sustainable and they're not. The way that people market, they'll use green on the packaging or a little leaf. And a lot of these terms aren't like moderated in Canada. You can say natural, you can say eco-friendly, you can say any of those terms and you don't actually have to back it up. Yeah. Another example is the is people trying to do well, trying to shop sustainably. The laundry strips. Have you ever seen those?
No.
So it sounds like a great idea. It's these like little concentrated strips. You throw it in, you get a little box. It's a concentrate. The issue is most of them contain ingredients like PVA that actually release microplastics, but you would have to know how to research that. So I think a big part of my company was opening up this level of transparency of how things are being made, how to dispose of it, where this is coming from, and really talking about that. Because as a consumer, how are you expected to understand the complexity of how to, dispose of your products, what they are impacting, whether that's like microorganisms into the waterways, whatever it is.
And that's the other thing. It's interesting because I love Kim over at Little Nature's Harvest. I go there and talk to her, and she's very knowledgeable about all these vitamins. Yeah. And it was interesting because I showed her a picture of a vitamin that somebody was talking to me about, and she kind of looked at it and she blew up. She said, "Can you blow up the picture for me?" She says, "Oh, see, it doesn't have an NDN number." And I was like, "What's an NDN number?" See, there's things I don't know. And she said, "Okay, well, that means that this is from the States, and we don't know what's in it, right? Like they can say it's A, B, and C, but it's really D, E, and F." Yeah. So she said, in Canada, all of our drugs have to have this number on it, meaning that there has to be some kind of a.
Yeah, and I think it's just a ridiculous expectation to put on the consumer to be knowledgeable about.
We don't have time to
the food you're consuming and how that can be sustainable or how that can be unhealthy.
Yeah,
the drugs that you're consuming with vitamins and stuff like that.
It's like what's in there because not all vitamins are good, you know, and in certain doses or whatever, right? Whatever you're doing, so you got to know. Yeah,
I think that has been one of the big pillars that have led us to the success that we've seen is just the level of transparency on every level possible. I was taught a lot by a generation who says, don't speak politics, don't talk money, don't talk this.
Yeah.
I speak about all of that online very publicly. And I think that is rooted in the idea of me as a consumer. In a capitalist society, you're voting with your money. You are not just voting on a ballot. Every dollar you spend is deciding what type of companies you want to keep and see. And I think my way of being extremely transparent of, different organizations that we're affiliated with, like we have donated $10,000 to the Palestinian Children Relief Fund. We've worked with the Trevor Project. We've worked with the Rainbow Railroad. Being transparent about that, being transparent about how the employees are treated, where we source things, how you dispose of it. All of these things allows you as a consumer to make that decision and vote with your money. Because a lot of these corporations, have these PR teams and they put a little duck on the bottle and you think it's sustainable and it's just not.
We often talk about the rhythm of life in North Bay. For Amanda, that rhythm was fast. Hockey practices, baseball games, juggling a full-time career, and keeping up with 2 energetic boys. But life hit pause after routine surgery led to a call she never expected. Stage 2 breast cancer. No symptoms, no warning. Suddenly, Amanda was facing a double mastectomy, reconstruction, weeks of chemotherapy and radiation treatments, and several additional surgeries. The path ahead was overwhelming. Through every stage, one question stayed with her: how do I keep being mom for my boys? Amanda's care team at the North Bay Regional Health Center made all the difference. They understood how deeply she wanted to hold on to familiar routines, cheering from the stands, being there at bedtime, staying present in the moments that gave her strength. Their compassion kept her connected to the two people who kept her fighting. She stayed present. She stayed grounded. She stayed mom. This holiday season, help ensure patients have access to the exceptional care they need during life's most challenging moments. Your gift helps patients like Amanda stay connected to the people they love while strengthening healthcare for families across our region. Visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give.
I love there was a button on there called Pay It Forward.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so our Pay It Forward has changed a little bit in the last couple of years. So in 2023 and for the beginning and for most of 2024, we had low-income programs where we were getting low-income starter bundles to low-income to low-income Canadians and Americans. And the reason we were doing this is because of a socioeconomic theory called Boots theory. And this is basically that if you only have $20, you can't afford that good quality pair of boots. Let's say they're $100. So you have to keep buying that $20 over and over and over and over again. Whereas if you might have had the money to invest in that, you could have started snowballed to stay there.
Yeah.
And so our products, can have that impact. Our full-size shampoo bar is $19. And yes, it lasts that full year. So your cost per use is even lower. But if you can't afford that upfront cost, you are stuck going over and over and over. And you end up spending more money. So our low-income programs were built so that it gets you that starting point of concentrates. So we did that for a few years, and that was really great. And this year we've focused more on community impact. So we have right now we are saving. We're making bundles for the end of January for the unhoused community. We've done a lot of work here in North Bay directly with the unhoused community. And the reason that we thought about doing it around Christmas this year, but I think around the Christmas and holiday season, more people than usual are trying to volunteer. January, February is when we see really high suicide rates. We see really high rates of depression and hospitalizations and all of those things. So in end of January, beginning of February this year, we're putting together kits that have all of those hair care, body products and stuff like that. And then we have we work directly with a couple unhoused individuals here in North Bay. We buy all their groceries and all of their things using some of that money. But they're helping us put together a resource booklet of all of the things that are helpful.
Okay.
In North
that's
Bay.
Great. Right from the source. I mean, why not? Ask them exactly what they need. Yeah. That is amazing. I love that. So if you want to be part of that, you can go onto the Oak Willow website, and then you can donate as much as you want. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's nice too is every dollar that you're putting in there is actually going to
exactly. And when we donate our products, we donate them at cost, so we don't take the profit from it at all. It's just exactly what it costs us to make and manufacture it.
Yeah.
So the shampoo wouldn't be $19. Right. It would be whatever that total cost is. And a lot of our products also travel really well because they're not made with water. So if you're unhoused, we have toothpaste tablets, and you just have a tablet you chew and then you brush your teeth versus having a tube. The shampoo, you've got a little size shampoo like this. You can travel with it around. One of our big ones is our soap buttons. So we have these single-use hand soaps. You give them a squish, and then they lather and dissolve in the time it takes you to sing Happy Birthday twice. Yeah. So they're good for on the go. You just need a little water source, and you're good to go. So our focus this year is focusing on the local unhoused community, and then next year we'll probably pick another project.
That's awesome. Those soap buttons are actually what my coordinator, Kim Morrow, talked to me about. She was like, have you heard of these? And she was like, on your Instagram showing me. And I'm like, what? Who is this? I got to talk to this person. Yeah. Okay. So, tell us about some of your products, because the pictures are gorgeous online. Yeah. It's a great website, and it's very informative too. It's not just here I was. I bet you, listeners and people watching, you thought we were going to talk about soap. No, this is so much more. This is a global change. This is something it's I love this. It's community forward, and it's, you're definitely aware of not only environment, but like, your community around you. Like, what do they need, to sustain themselves? And it makes so much sense. I would imagine that people who are traveling too, right? Like, because in a plane, you can't have like liquid and stuff. So having these shampoo bars and like, it's the new way of doing it.
Yeah.
So like maybe just like, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite product?
It's tough for me to say because we really have filled all of the gaps in your cleaning routine, your self-care routine. We have everything from toilet cleaner to dish soap to floor cleaner.
You got dry shampoo.
We have dry shampoo, solid shampoo,
body butter,
sugar scrubs, body butters. Like we really hit all of these different sectors.
And the succulent soy candle.
I know.
It's sold out right now, so you can't even have one. Forget it. They're sold out. I loved it. I love succulents. Like I love the desert. I love me the desert. I have plants all over the place. Anyways, and I just as soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, check off my Christmas list. They're sold out. Sweet. They're super cute.
Yeah.
So you've kind of like. Yeah, you have hit, like, I just kept scrolling. I was like, oh my God, there's like so much here.
It's taken us years to get to this point.
Yeah.
We really did start with only a few products, but the goal for me was to sort of create this one-stop shop for sustainable goods because you have a lot of these smaller companies that focus on one product. They make beeswax wraps, or this one makes maybe shampoo. This one makes sugar scrubs. But it costs a lot to go to all of these different stores, unless they're local to you, having that one shop you can just grab everything from. So being a one-stop shop really was the goal right from the beginning. Yeah. And over the years, it's just there have been natural fillers where people are all like, oh, but what about this type of product? And that's sort of how we've expanded.
Yeah. Where do the ingredients come from?
Okay, so where do we get the actual ingredients?
Yeah, like to make them. Because do you make them in your...
We make them all in-house in our workshop here in North Bay. There's a few that we partner with some other companies for. Like our beeswax wraps come from a company in Hamilton, Ontario and stuff like that. But for the products we make in-house, we are over 80% Canadian sourced. And there was this huge sort of made in Canada push, right, that we saw this year with the United States. Yeah. And a lot of people were upset that we weren't 100% sourcing in Canada. But the reality is Canada doesn't have the infrastructure to commercially produce coconut oil.
Yeah.
We don't grow coconuts. So that's not really a great pairing for us. But no, last time I checked, our Canadian was up and around like 89%, which is great.
Amazing, yeah.
And then we work with a couple different organizations. One of them that we started off with, and we've kind of scaled out of it, but I worked with a mom and pop shop in Huntsville when I was starting up to help find all of these companies that we could source from that, aligned with our values. We buy the raw ingredients and we manufacture it all here in North Bay.
Wow. So there's like a lot of secret recipes around in your workshop.
There's a lot of secret recipes.
Okay, so you make it there. Now, do you have your store? You said a lot of them is online, like a lot of the...
we are only online.
Only online.
Yeah,
you can't walk into Oak and Willow.
No, we do local pickups. So like people order online, come in and just grab their order.
Okay.
We did used to do the markets, and then we did trade shows, and then we actually had a storefront briefly here in North Bay. But to be honest, we're just too busy online to try and keep a storefront open. It just doesn't make sense for us.
Yeah.
But we did just have our Shop the Shelves event last weekend, which was incredibly successful, and we'll definitely make that like a semi-annual thing.
And it was surprising to you.
It was surprising. I think with any business owner, you can get a little bit of like imposter syndrome, and I really had no idea what to expect, especially because most of our followers, most of our customers are not here in North Bay, and North Bay is kind of a hop, skip, and a jump away from everything else. Yeah. And we ended up opening our doors. The line was over an hour long. We had people travel from Michigan, Windsor, Toronto just to come and shop our spot, and it was a really, really cool event. We ended up like doing absolutely amazing.
And weren't you, I feel like I saw a post where you were like really emotional afterwards.
Oh, I fully cried afterwards. It was a really cool experience. Like I do, over the social medias, I have probably just over 500,000 followers, which is really cool, but you often have this disconnect where you forget that it's real people consuming your content. And so to meet so many people and, hear that they've, consumed my content, they've this about the business. They feel so attached to the business that they waited in line an hour
and drove from Windsor.
And drove from Windsor,
you know what I
drove
mean?
from
Like,
Michigan, drove from Niagara. Like that was a really surreal experience for me. And I had my mom and grandma there to hand out hot chocolate. And we ran out of hot chocolate basically the second it opened because the line was just overflowing. We were very grossly underprepared for that event.
Your mom and grandma must be so proud.
They were so proud, and there were so many people going up to them and talking about, you know, how much they liked the business, how much they liked like me and that. They're very proud, and they're big champions of Oak and Willow.
And they should be, because I mean, everything about this just sounds it just sounds incredible. I think that the generation, I hope anyway, that the generations coming up, I mean, it is a real thing, right? About kind of saving this world and trying to make it better.
100%.
And especially since you have a son, like I don't have kids, but I have 2 nieces, and I'm thinking they're 15 and 13. And it's like
100%.
What are we leaving to them? Like in 20 years, 30 years, like what's gonna, you know?
Yeah,
so
my son is 4.5, and I think about it a lot, and I think that remains like a big. I think anyone who has kids, it remains a big influence on how you treat the world around you, because it's really what you're leaving to them.
Yeah. Are you, like, will you continue to do the farmer's market and stuff like that? Like, do you find, no, you're good.
No, I will continue to shop the farmer's market.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We haven't done the farmer's market since 2021. Okay. And we just
you can't.
We're too busy.
Trying to fill. Yeah.
Like,
and is this like did you go on Dragon's Den?
So I actually get that question a lot.
I know, because like this is nuts.
My answer, there's a couple spots to it.
Ooh,
one,
okay, good.
I don't need a dragon.
It's true.
We're debt free. We have healthy balance sheets. Like we're fine. I don't need an investor. But I think the bigger part of it is, you know, when you talk about the sharks or the dragons, they're these, you know, usually billionaires who are investing in these companies not out of passion, not out of anything, but for investment. In our company, because we run on this model, our profit gets evenly distributed among the entire team. A dragon is not going to join that. Yeah. And I own my company 100%. I don't want to sell a portion of the company. I also don't want to scale to the level that would make a dragon or a shark
necessary.
Happy. I think the immediate things that a shark would tell me to do, or a dragon, sorry, is stop doing the business model. Stop paying the employees that much. Stop sharing that profit with them. They would recommend that we outsource manufacturing to reduce the costs, probably like outsource most of it over to China or produce it in some other unethical way. I mean, there's ethical and unethical manufacturing here in Canada, here in China. There's both. Reduce the number of products we have. They would tell us to reduce down to our top like 5 maybe and go specialty. And it just doesn't align with the type of company I would want to run. And I think a lot of people, you know, see the success and think scale. I'm really happy with where we are right now. You know, like we do a few million a year. We have a happy staff. Nobody's like overly stressed out. Yeah. It's at the beginning, I think you get that. I need more staff. I need more this, more that.
No, you don't.
No. Figure out where you're happy, and that's
that
it.
like that in itself is such an awesome thing to say, right? Is that you have enough. It's like we've come.
We're at a good spot.
You know, we're like this world now who like you always need the next thing. What's the next best thing? I need this. I need that.
There's
I need instant gratification. I need you know, and it's like whoa. You have a roof over your head. You have winter boots. You have a warm jacket. You have a vehicle to drive around in. Like you have friends and family.
Well,
that's
exactly
awesome.
Right. Like me and all the
you know
staff.
What I mean? Yeah.
We got a 17% wage increase this year. We've had over 5,000 in bonuses. Like we've got to expand all of our you know benefits and all of that. Like
it's amazing. And you probably have a good work-life balance as well, because they're like
I'm a bit of a workaholic.
Well,
but I could.
Maybe your
I could have.
You're like
it doesn't require me in the same way.
Yeah.
And no, my staff are like some of the most phenomenal people I've ever met in my life, and I think a lot of that is because of the model that we you know enact. There isn't. They have the same skin in the game, right? They receive the same benefits that I do as the owner. So like my team will come in, Kelsey will come in with a great idea. Jason will have done whatever. Like it's such a special environment.
Yeah.
I can't praise the people who work for Oak and Willow enough.
Well, because they feel like like they're part of it. Exactly like you said. I mean, they're just as important. You know what I mean? It's not this tier system, right? Yeah.
Well, exactly. When you have a team who's reaping the same benefits versus I think it was Sephora a couple of years ago, they did 10 million in profits or something of that sorts, and they handed out little cookies to like They're employees who make $15 an hour.
Awesome.
And it's
awesome.
like,
yeah, it's just what they need.
why,
for sure.
why would I
mean,
well,
yeah.
Why you don't have that same care? Why would you?
I know, exactly.
Yeah. Like I know my first job, I can say this because they're out of business. My first job, I was 14 working at Sears.
Yeah.
And my responsibility was to make sure nobody was stealing out the side door. I don't care.
Yeah.
I make $10 an hour.
Exactly. You're like, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's something to be said to that for sure. Like
Yeah.
just having that, that collaboration, like you said,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like who wouldn't want to work in that? Yeah.
Huge.
Have your voice actually be heard and like sit down and collaborate. Yeah.
Huge.
Awesome. I come from a theater world and it's all collaboration.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Like this has been great. It's been such a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thank
and I
you so
love your
much.
business model.
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to. Well, I'm not going to come in. Maybe I'll come in. Maybe I'll come to the door and like get maybe
Yeah.
like a tour one day or something when I come and
Yeah,
pick up
I'd
my
love to show you
succulent
around.
candle. Do you know when they're going to be back in stock? Do you make the succulents there?
I do.
They're beautiful because they're all different colors and everything.
They are. To be honest, they are a product I'm planning on discontinuing. Mostly because we've just scaled to the point they're so labor intensive.
Yeah, they're
I know.
detailed. Like they're really
They're
beautiful.
really detailed.
Yeah.
So I think a couple times a year we'll release a bundle of them. So you got to watch out for that.
That's cool. All right. That's cool. That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Anyway, anything else that we should know about? Oh, how did you get the name Oak and Willow?
Oak and Willow actually comes me and my son's dad.
Okay.
When we were on our second date, I think it was, I asked him what he wanted done with his body when he died, as you do on a date.
Sure. Especially the second date. Yes, you
and-
got to get it out of the way. Sure.
And both of us had said we wanted to be turned into trees after, and he said an oak, and I said a willow. Yeah. And it was our Wi-Fi password. And then when it was time to, when the business was starting so chaotically that week, I was like, well, I guess this is what we're called now.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Creepy and adorable.
Creepy and adorable.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, good times.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
Well, there you go, guys. See, I told you. It wasn't an episode just about, shampoo bars and toilet bowl buttons. No, not buttons. What are they? Toilet bowl pods. Soap buttons. Little pods. Such a deeper conversation. It was so interesting when we ended, the podcast. I said to her, I was like, thank you so much for kind of doing a bigger deep dive, right? Because this could have been really transactional. It could have just been about your products. But I love just the range of what we talked about in this. This is amazing. I think this is such a cool way of thinking. And of course, if you're, getting everything that your boss or your leader is getting and it's a collaboration, everyone's getting the same, of course, you're going to be more invested, right? As an employee, you're going to want to do your best to make the company really successful. I think her products are awesome. Go check her out on Instagram. We'll put some links down at the bottom of this podcast. Instagram, Facebook, I'm sure she has as well. And, you won't see her at the farmer's market, but hey, go check out the farmer's market. Also, go onto her website. It's an amazing website. And you can order there. You can get all your stuff. And like she said, one-stop shopping for everything you need in your house. Sustainable. Save the earth. David Attenborough would thumbs up this company. Okay, that's it. You know what? Christmas is coming. I don't know about you. Are you done your Christmas shopping? I had to return something to the mall yesterday, and people are angry. Why do we do this to ourselves? I could just feel the vibes, man. So just remember what this time of year should be. Like little Cindy Lou says, it's just about the heart, my friends. Don't get all kerfuffled. All right, till next time, be safe out on those roads, and don't honk at people when they're trying to get around you in parking lots, okay? All right, till next time, much love, North Bay.